Okay, so rolling for a fragrance review. This time another clone. Kind of been on a clone, I don't want to say a clone hype, but going through multiple different companies of clones of very popular fragrances. So we have, this is by Armaf and it's Club de Nuit Milestone. So again, I've got several of the Club de Nuit line, and they tend to be based on various Creed fragrances. So this is Milestone, and this is a copy or a clone, I believe, of Creed Milisieame Imperial. So I've never smelt the original before, so I can't draw comparison or conclusion on what's better or worse. I'm just going on reviews online. Again, this was a blind buy. This is what I'm tending to do. I'm going through different clone houses at the moment, and to be fair, most of them have been pretty good, or above average to very good. So especially when they're cheap, which is this is for 100 ml. It ranges from say 30 to 40 pound. You can get it cheaper, and also you can get it more expensive, but that's the average. And I do find a lot of these clone fragrances, be it 100 to 150 ml, they can range anywhere from like 15 pound up to 40 pound, which again, if the clone is of quality or fairly close to the original, and you can draw a comparison, then you can see why they're very popular for a reason. If they were rubbish, no one would buy them. If they were rubbish, the price would continually drop. And if anything, I think it's a testament to clones nowadays that there are a lot of good, sometimes even better than the original. But we'll talk about that maybe some other time. So the top notes are bergamot, sea notes and red fruits. Middle is whitewood, violet and sandalwood. And the base is ambroxan, musk and vetiver. So as usual, we'll apply it onto the skin. So they're basically another thing. They're all the same bottle with the same design in terms of the Armaf Club de Nuit line. They're just different colours. Slightly different design on the front, like the Sillage Club de Nuit that I did more recently. That had like a see-through bottle and you could see like the water running down. This has kind of got like a sun and it's like a moon shape and you can kind of see the liquid in there. So again, it's just a bit different. So, oh yeah, and it's an EDP as well. They're all pretty much EDPs. Do the 3 sprays. So yeah, very radiant already. In terms of the comparison, or what I've read about the comparison between this and the Creed version, is that this lasts longer. That's a common theme that I'm finding with a lot of the Creed clones, that they actually outperform the original. However, they're not as nuanced. They don't have as many raw materials. They tend to be more synthetic. In terms of reviews of this online, half seem to say it's flat, it's very chemical and so on, which again, I do note that with a lot of the clone reviews. But again, I'm just going to give my opinion. So already, very potent. The first note I'm getting is watermelon. I really like watermelon. So obviously when I first smelt this, the citrus freshness, the effervescence is very nice. In terms of what I would say, and it is said online, it's more of a unisex fragrance, and again it leans more slightly more feminine than masculine. I don't agree with that, because again, that's opinion, that doesn't make it fact. In terms of comparison, for me, the only fragrance I've used more recently, which I reviewed of, was albeit it smells very different, but that unisex kind of in the middle ground, is Dolce & Gabbana Intenso, which again was very flowery, powdery, but it also has that kind of darkness edge in the mix. But very watermelon freshy, kind of salty as well. I think that is a note in there. So very pleasant, very citrusy if you're into that kind of thing. Again, for me, more recently, I've not really experienced what I would class as a summery fragrance, which again, in my opinion, this is. Yeah, it's very relaxing. Again, there's like something in the background that goes through that I find like, again, it makes me picture like the sea and outdoors. I think I did see some comments where people said it reminds me of a bit of Aqua di Gio, which there's an element of that because, again, Aqua de Gio by Armani and Cool Water by Davidoff, they have that kind of marine, by the beach, by the sea quality, and this hits that very well in terms of what it's going for, in terms of the sea notes, the watermelon, the citrus elements. So yeah, it's very pleasant. In terms of the performance, I would say, again, a bit like CR, just like a 6 to 8 hours, not as powerful as the Armaf Club de Nuit Intense, which is the clone of Creed Aventus, which is my favourite of the line that I've used so far. Obviously, there's several others I've yet to try. In terms of, yeah, so performance 6 to 8 hours, similar to the Siage. In terms of the radiance, I actually think it's slightly better than the Siage. And for whatever reason, the Siage kind of within an hour or so, it sort of got it. What's the word? I almost said dry down. Of course, it dries down. It dies down in terms of that kind of Siage or field around you. So this on my skin seems to perform a bit better than the Siage. In terms of the smell profile, again, the problem with the Siage was that there was a lot of medicinal note to it, and I think that it could only be worn by certain people. I think it, or be, I don't want to say I love it or hate it because I didn't love it, but it's that kind of Marmite-y type fragrance, where with this one I think a lot of people can wear it, and the fact that it's unisex, obviously women can wear it as well, and it's very pleasant. Watermelony, salty sea notes, kind of ozonic, outdoors, summery vibe, citrus, not so much fruity, even though there are notes of fruit. I do pick up more of the citrusy now. Obviously, in terms of the dry down, it becomes a bit more woody. The watermelon sort of dies down into the background, but it's still a very nice fragrance. Not in terms of the woodiness and the strength of it. Again, isn't on par with the Armaf Intense Club de Nuit, but I would say it's sort of like, you know, and then the Siage is down here. So again, the Siage I gave a 7 out of 10. I would probably give this a 7.5 out of 10 just to kind of show you the bottle again. So that's Club de Nuit, Armaf Club de Nuit, which is the right or the make, and then the range Club de Nuit by Armaf, and it's called Milestone. So 7.5 out of 10. Nothing more I can really say. I recommend this. Slightly prefer it more than the Siage, although that's very nice and different as well. But I think this is more wearable, and in terms of the environment, you could wear it out. It's not too offensive, it's not too strong. So in the gym, in the workplace, just chilling at home, kind of like what I'm doing now. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10, and I recommend it. So we're on that there. Nothing more to say.